So I am not entirely sure how it could get any worse for USCCA at this point, but somehow they continue to keep topping their shenanigans. It's really stunning. I mean, they must pay their PR department millions of dollars because they're worth every penny. If you haven't been following closely, me and attorneys on retainer have been calling out some inconsistencies coming out of USCCA. And the entire time, instead of being accountable, saying, hey, you know what, we messed this up, here's what we're gonna do to make this right, they have tried to discredit us, they've tried to gaslight us, and now they've had one of their people make a video in regards to me. And I gotta tell you, if you were with USCCA just based on their professionalism, please tell me that is still the case after you watch this video. This guy gets on his video and he says that we are wrong about Kayla Giles.
That's the one thing I have not heard any of these critics say, that what she did was the right thing to do.
Look, I'm not gonna go into that part on this video. What I can say is I've read all of the court documents, I've read the transcripts as far as the witnesses go, and we also have the video. But like I said before, for me it's not, well, is she innocent or guilty? For me it was, should USCCA have dropped her? Should they have publicly trashed her and said, well, this was premeditated murder? In my opinion, no. It's outrageous. So why don't we give a little introduction as to who this guy is? He's a part of USCCA. In fact, they do a lot of favors for this guy because they appreciate him so much. And his claim to fame is he does CCW classes that are just fantastic.
Out, smash, chest.
Wow, talk about solid training.
Shouts out to the USCCA for these wonderful pistols, okay? USCCA.com, USCCA.com, the United States Concealed Carry Association.
Oh, that's so nice of USCCA to be doing you favors and for you to throw them attaboys and show off your yellow pistols. So why don't we go over some details as far as what he had to say about me personally. And I gotta tell you, I laughed the entire time on this, and I'm gonna try to keep a straight face while we go through this. So the first thing that he calls out is that people are listening to me about USCCA because I'm white.
Before you go jumping ship from USCCA, you gotta be careful not to follow herd mentality. You gotta be careful not to follow aesthetics. And I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there.
Please go there.
White is right. Come on now. Come on. If you are one of the ones who automatically believe white is right, hey, you entitled to your belief.
I mean, that's a little bit confusing. Are you saying that Joe Biden is right in what he says? Because he's white. I would disagree with that statement. But you know, USCCA at this point is really helping race relations here.
Don't let these people who live in a podunk mountain town out in the country, those towns in part are sometimes sundown towns where the darkies aren't allowed to go in that town, because if you do, by God, you're gonna find yourself to have some kind of by God problem.
You know, I feel like we're back in 1850 right now. So outstanding. Oh, you're not done? Okay, continue.
But you might be letting somebody screw you because of the aesthetics. I'm not one of them ones to bring in the race card. I'm just talking.
Well, it sure kind of seems like you are. I mean, you just said white is right.
Things that motivate people to decide to do things. The aesthetics. Good old country boy, white being a thing.
White being a thing. Well, I am white, so I'm not really sure what I can do to change that, at least for you. I mean, I'm at a loss for words that this is coming out of USCCA. It gets better though.
White being a thing, nice shirt, holster, leather, sniper in the background, American flag, good old Texas, don't mess with the aesthetics are all, and what do? You listen, good old country boy.
Look, man, I think you're confusing aesthetics with people listening to logic. I really don't think people care that I'm white or that I have a gun in the background in regards to them choosing which self-defense coverage makes the most sense for them. I'm pretty sure I could look like Barney and still talk logic, and they would be like, okay, yeah, USCCA has dropped members and now is showing a level of professionalism that belongs in a high school. You would expect it from like a high school freshman. I think that's why most people have switched from USCCA to attorneys on retainer. And then you know what's just crazy? This guy with USCCA further promotes that USCCA is anti-2A, with them working with Tim Kennedy and now this guy. Listen to this.
A percentage of you in the Second Amendment shouldn't even be owning guns because you're irresponsible persons. You really need anger management. You really need behavioral management. You really need therapeutic courses. There are a lot of other things that you need before you can even put a gun in your hand.
Oh my God. I mean, you're so right, man. I didn't go to one of your concealed carry classes that look super in depth. I don't even know if I would be invited to that because apparently you have a problem with me just existing and being white. But I think you don't understand the Second Amendment. There's nothing in there about training. There's nothing in there about, well, you have to be this good with a firearm to own it. I mean, this is the hill that USCCA really wants to die on. First dropping members, then resorting to this individual, I don't know, throwing out insults that are just, they're just funny as hell. And then you want to go the anti-2A route and tell people that, well, some of you just shouldn't own guns.
This motherfucker don't even read.
From the book of Daniel. Then Daniel said to the king, O king, live forever. My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths, and they have not harmed me.
He may read. He may read very well.
Oh, well, thank you. And then if all of this isn't bad enough, he assumes that I have a big dick and then just continues on about it.
Just because he got a big, look, everybody got a big till it's time to fuck.
Man, it's kind of odd that you're thinking about me in that way, but is this really pertinent information to you trying to discredit us and say that what we've been saying is not correct about USCCA? You want to sit there and talk about dicks? This is outstanding. And then, you know, if USCCA didn't stoop down to a low enough level yet, this guy goes to the point of recommending that I go die.
Go right the head and go do your dying.
I mean, I'm not really sure what to say to that. If God calls me home today, I'm ready for that, but I'm confused on what your goal is here. And then look, if all of that wasn't enough, he decides to sit there and stroke a water bottle.
You was all, oh, Tim. Now you riding for another.
Look, man, I get this whole thing, but the fact that you just stroked off a water bottle on your live stream to give out a high school level insult is just, once again, I'm at a loss of words as far as the professionalism and class shown in this video. So instead of y'all over there at USCCA just being accountable and saying, hey, look, yeah, we dropped a couple of these members we probably shouldn't have. This is how we're planning to make it right. You sit on your live and stroke a water bottle and somehow think that this is going to help in your favor. Okay, guys.
Sound off in the comments. What are your thoughts about what I said? I want to entertain what you had to say.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you said that. First of all, sir, no insult taken, but you are not good at this. Pick something else to talk about. Pick someone else to talk about. Because all you've done is you've shown USCCA's true colors in terms of professionalism, class, and being able to own your mistake. And I gotta tell you, this is one of the worst things that I've ever heard come out of a company. So for those of you who were like, well, I can't stay with USCCA because they drop members for no good reason, and now they have the professionalism of a teenager. Here's what I recommend. Attorneys on retainer, one, they will never stoop down to this level. One, because they don't have time. And two, because we all outgrew this in high school, like most people do. Second, they are not insurance-based. They're a law office, which means that they aren't bound by the law to say no to some claims and say yes to some others, like USCCA and all these other insurance companies are. They have bail coverage that get you all the way through trial, and if you take a deal or you're convicted, they aren't asking for all their money back like USCCA is, as stated in their contract. So what we're doing is we're giving everybody $50 off your sign up. If this isn't a reason to switch from USCCA, I'm not sure what is. But outstanding job to USCCA. Once again, you were proving my point as to why everybody should completely run from your company.